The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised. You are now entering the all-consuming realm of Shea's Paranormal Chat, where the things that are better left unsaid are actually said.
Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to Shea's Paranormal Chat. Paranormal podcasting done Shea's way. Tons of fun.
Dude, seriously?
A bit sarcastic.
Hashtag investigator, not hunter.
But always real. Don't get your panties in a twist.
Oh my god, really?
This is real, raw conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Welcome to Shea's Paranormal Chat. It's been quite the past 15 minutes. We might need to give it a few minutes since we went live a few minutes ago and didn't mean to, and you guys heard nothing. And I'm getting the messages, so I am going to introduce my beautiful co-host, Miss Kelly McCarville, and of course, the awesome Mr. Ken Boggle.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening. How are you?
It's been quite the past 20 minutes or so, I'm telling you. So, since we started out falsely, Kelly, why don't you start off the show? I'm going to reshare the links and stuff.
Oh, okay. I'll stop resharing links then. Okay. So, tonight we have Mr. Ken Boggle with us, and we are going to let him introduce himself and tell you all about himself. So, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, I'm Ken Boggle. I'm the owner and operator of Tarot by Ken LLC, and I am the producer and host of Tarot Date with Ken Boggle on VidiSpace, soon to be Amazon Fire Stick. Well, it's on Fire Stick, soon to be Amazon Prime. I've been doing tarot pretty soon for about 27 years. Learned when I was 8. And I am an internet radio co-host with scarefestradio.com and board member of the board member of Scarefest, and I go to the Mystical Fair of Lexington and Mama Ruby's and Inner Light festivals and things like that. I'm a tarot card reading psychic medium. That's me.
That's you.
That's a handful, though. It's a lot of things to tackle.
What Chip Coffey once said to me, you make me tired. Just listening to what you do exhausts the hell out of me. Good old Chip.
He's awesome. I love him. I really do.
He's fun.
He's fantastic, and he's sharp as a tack. He's just very sharp. I like me some Chip. I really do.
Yeah. There's not too many. There's only very few TV personality people that you will actually hear me say I love, and he's one of them. The vibe he gives off, the love you can feel from him. I really appreciate.
There are tons of other great ones. Elizabeth Saint is God's gift to my life, and Nick Groff is too. And I don't know where I would be without Dustin Perry. Really, I don't. And then, for my money, I don't think I have better chemistry with anybody in the world like I have with Grant Wilson. And I've been blessed by meeting some really great paranormal, we'll call it paranormal celebrities. And I've also met some really, really big, I don't know if I can cuss, but
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You most
Right.
definitely can.
Oh, thank God. That takes a load off. And then I've met some really big assholes who I could really have, I could have really done without having met. So it's,
but the ones you mentioned are amazing. I mean, Elizabeth, she's so stinking smart. And Nick is just like this total down to earth guy, and Grant is funny as hell. And yeah.
Well, the thing about the.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what happened? Is something
There
wrong?
he is. There he is.
You're back.
The thing about Nick Groff is that he's extremely down to earth, but he spends very little time on Earth. Like, I mean, we would go, we would be filming something, and after it was over, we would go have, dinner or something, and Nick would be climbing, some kind of a statue made out of rusted metal and rock, like it was his job. And he's screaming, somebody put this put this on Facebook Live, or somebody record this, and I'm like, get down from there, like I'm some kind of like
right, like you're a parent,
like some kind of weird drunk uncle. I'm like, get off there. Yeah, but he's amazing.
I'm getting some messages now because here we go. Shea done fucked up again. Between the avalanche, the concussion of snow, and the false start. Ken, I spelled your last name wrong. As soon as this show ends, I will fix it, though. I put 2 O's instead of 2 G's.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, because I was going, because we didn't know we were live, and I tried to fix it real quick. I will fix it as soon as the end shows. My apologies.
She's suffering a head wound, folks. She, the snow attacked.
I'm just lucky my 3-pound dog is alive. Never mind me. That could have killed her. You
have to tell the story now, because we heard it, but the people on listening don't know the story.
That's right.
So
I forget. I can't tell. So I took my dog out for the show. Like I try to do on like the Sunday show, where that was a fiasco because my dog had the flu, so I had to take her out every 5 minutes and had to leave my own show every 5 minutes. But so I took the dog out, and we've got tons of snow and rain, so my backyard's kind of flooded, and I took her out back instead of out front for once, and I walked along the beam because there's this huge puddle, and the dog followed behind me, and next thing you know, where the snow, I could hear the snow falling off the roof, but there was nowhere to go, and we were covered in snow, so it was fun.
I will openly admit that I laughed because she sent me a message that says, I'm running late. I just had snow fall off the roof on me, and I've got to change my clothes. And I'm dying laughing because I'm a good friend.
Yeah. If you sent it to me, I'd be laughing too. So don't get me wrong. So I love that Ken said, can you swear on this show?
Oh, good Lord. Yes. Well, you'll see very soon because one of us will drop some good stuff. So
I've been really good lately, but let's get back to Mr. Boggle, as it says in the show.
You have been renamed. So when did you get into tarot reading? How did you get into it?
I was 8 years old. I had an exceptional talent to be able to know things I shouldn't know or have access to. This is years ago for younger people who are listening. There was a time before caller ID when you had one telephone that sat in the living room and it had a cord on it.
It had a cord.
Yeah.
You're giving away our age here, Ken.
Yeah, I know. And I would be able to sit next to it, and I would know who was on the phone, or I would sometimes know why they were calling, and the phone would ring, and I'd be like, that's, Uncle Don, and he's wanting someone, to talk about Beth or let's Aunt Mitzi about Mary Helen's dress or something. And my granny took me to the side. She's like, okay, well, you've got it too. So there's obviously some kind of gift that ran through Granny's side. And so she was like, let me teach you how to use it and let me show you, what you can do with it. And so she trained me in various different ways to open up my psychic mind. And then I learned how to read fortunes from my Aunt Caroline using poker cards. And my granny was like, that's real cute, but there's something called tarot. Have you heard about that? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, let's go get you some. Let's go get you a pack. And so we did. And we got this like Alice in Wonderland deck. It was just such a creepy, weird deck. And they've reissued them now. in smaller miniature form, which is real garbage. But I don't know where that deck of mine is. But now I looked it up on eBay. It's like worth $340 some.
Oh, wow.
Like, son of a, like, how did I
You should have kept track of it.
Yeah, I know. What I'm thinking is that I think my father actually found them and destroyed them. I can't remember. I blocked a lot of my childhood out. So it probably was that. Something equally ridiculous. But yeah, so I got started when I was 8 years old. And first we did things like reading coffee grounds, and not the way other people read coffee grounds, not like things that are found in the bottom of a cup, but rather she would empty coffee grounds onto a newspaper. She would spread them, hover over them while smoking a cigarette, and tell you everything you wanted to know. And then we read like a cracked egg in a glass half full of water next to a candle, and then we did scrying, and that broke my brain. And then we went on to cards after I showed her what Aunt Caroline had taught me. So that's how I started almost 27 years ago.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So do you still do like the tea readings or the scrying and all of that?
I don't do scrying because it broke my brain for a minute, and it was a little too much. And I mean, I don't know. I was like 8 or 9 at the time, maybe.
Right, yeah.
So, no, I don't do that. But I often will stare into space because when you are an actual psychic, it doesn't matter what your point of focus is. You can look at a remote control and see things. Mm-hmm. So, I often do it wherever I'm at. Usually, bodies of water really set me off. Or loud noises, lots of loud noises. If I'm staring off into space, it's probably because I'm reading someone or something. And all my girlfriend's like, "Where the hell are you? Hey, come back! Like, wake up! What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just reading that whore over there." I wonder what she's doing. That old hooker, right?
Water will get it, but fire is a big one for me. If I see fire,
yeah.
But I'm glad to hear you say that you find yourself kind of just staring off into space, because that's what I do too. And then people will be talking to me, and I can be like dead looking them in the face, and all of a sudden I realize they're talking to me, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I was totally not listening to you." Yeah.
I sometimes do that, but only if it's somebody I'm really not interested in.
Well, no, it's because I was picking up
just pulling your leg. But I totally get it.
I do that too, but that's a gift.
Yeah,
that's a whole different type of gift.
Yeah, it's a total blessing from God. We're all like here in my ears, like, wah, like, is she done talking yet? But
turns into the Charlie Brown teacher. Wah,
yeah, wah, exactly. Yeah,
that's how I hear most people, and I'm not even a psychic, so.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That is too funny. All right. I was trying to look back through comments here because I was thinking we were getting some stuff. And I thought it was funny because it runs in the family. Mama Pat says you have a great voice as well.
Oh, well, thank you, Mama Pat. How nice of you.
I figured when you brought up the Alice in Wonderland deck, so one of the gals that does a show with Shea on Sundays, Psychic Gem B, she says she still has that original Alice in Wonderland deck.
You're kidding.
That's what she says. I think she's got a new one too, but yeah.
One, I totally don't believe that. So if she wants to send me a picture privately, I will totally, because I would love to see them. I would totally love that. But yeah, girl, they're worth money. They're worth serious cash. She's
got ridiculous amounts of cards, so it wouldn't surprise me if she does. But
she's got a ridiculous amount of collectible stuff that is worth money, so it wouldn't surprise me either way, to be honest. I don't even mean it in a bad way. I just mean
slide into my DMs and send me a pic. I would love to see like the original large cards. They weren't extra large. They were like they were like traditional tarot card size. But they're now valued like I think the ones on eBay or was it Amazon or something? There's 347 and some change. So
that's just craziness.
That is crazy. I don't even pay $20 for a pair of shoes. Never mind like that. I'm just like $300 and something for cards. I mean, they better be. I'm sure they are if they're the originals, and it's Alice in Wonderland. So I'm sure they're pretty cool, but.
Yeah, and it wasn't like this like Disney version of Alice in Wonderland. They were like super creepy. Yeah, super creepy. Yeah.
But when you find a deck that you like and that works for you, those are the ones you just keep going back to, regardless of how many decks you find, or at least for me.
Well, I mean, like, I have one deck that I use for one thing, which is spirit readings, because when I'm doing a mediumship reading, I use tarot cards as a means to protect myself and the person I'm with. That way I can double confirm all of the information that I'm hearing, seeing, or smelling, or feeling in general against what the cards say and what my client is also saying to me. So I have one deck I use specifically for that. The other decks I own, I mean, I have probably I have two that I use at conventions and fairs, and then Stephanie Hutnick from Mind's Eye.
I'm going to see Stephanie tomorrow.
She's fabulous. She's fabulous. I'm going to
see her tomorrow.
Yeah, give her love from me, and
I will.
Tell her say hi. She and that gorgeous Eric Knapp. Oh my God! Shut up.
I'll see him tomorrow. Obviously,
gorgeous.
Stephanie, I'll see. Anyway,
so Stephanie sent me a deck of the Game of Thrones cards, and I opened them and I was like, oh God, I love the texture, I love the size, I love the sound, I love how the I don't know, they're kind of like vinyl almost. Anyway,
oh wow,
I ended up using them in season 2 of Tarot Day, which comes out next month. So through the whole season, I used that one deck of cards. Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luna.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kel.
Luna in chat is asking, how many tarot decks do you have? How many do you think you own?
I have no idea. I know I own there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on my desk right now. 3 in a bag, maybe 15 put away. And then I have one that has extremely negative energy that I have wrapped and put away someplace, which I'm totally trying to get in touch with the Newkirks, because I'd like to give them this deck and say, I really want nothing to do with it. Put this in your museum, because I don't want them.
You all right, hold on. Back up for us muggles when it comes to tarot reading. What did you do?
Well, you mean all that math again? I have 6
No. What did you say? You wrapped
about wrapping the tarot deck.
Okay.
Wrapped
I'm sorry,
because
lover.
of the energy. Yeah, math. That went over my head too. But
I was like, well, I have 6. Anyway, so I have a deck that was given to me that I don't like at all, and so I wrapped them in white fabric, and I have tucked them away so that nobody accidentally comes across them, and I certainly don't use them. So I put them away just to make sure that no one found them and the energy doesn't kind of get out. Yeah.
Mama Pat, I lost the question. The chat is going so fast. Mama Pat has a question about something about.
She says, how does it have negative energy, and what does that mean?
Well, it's like people. You meet a person and you're like, oh, that's a bad person. You know what I mean? It's got an energy. You can feel the vibe. I don't know what happened to this deck of cards. I know that it came to me without a box. I don't really remember the person's face who handed it to me, really. I was a man, and I don't remember anything else about him. But he was like, it was at Scarefest or a convention or something. He said, he was like, hey, I have this deck of cards, and I'd like for you to have them. And he handed them to me, and I said, oh, thank you very much. And, I gave a hug. I think it maybe said I appreciate it or something, just being nice. And as soon as they touched my hand, though, I was like, I'm never going to use these, not ever. And then I went home and unpacked, and the more I handled them, the more I said, this just is not going to happen. So I don't know, that it's like meeting a bad person. It's like shaking the hand of a really negative, nasty individual. For a fact you don't want them around. You know what I mean? It's that kind of vibe. Yeah. I hope that answered her question.
Yeah, it answered mine. I think it answered hers. We'll see.
So I guess my question would be, though, so have you, I'm assuming you have, tried to clear them, cleanse them and everything, and that...
Oh, hell no. No. First impressions are always my biggest impression. If it's something's evil or dark or wrong, I don't mess with it. It's like, I'd rather just put it away. I don't want to try to cleanse them. I don't want to try to burn them or drown them or whatever people say. Because there's 1,000. One person will have you, boil them in water. Mm-hmm. Another person will have you sleeping with them under your pillow, or I don't know. One person said, dig a hole. Dig a hole,
put them in the dirt.
Cover it in salt. And covered, I'm like, what is this? Like roasting a pig? Like, I'm not eating the damn thing. It's like, you know what I mean?
Because you can't do it all the same way. If it's crystal,
And
sure, go ahead and run it underwater. But if it's your tarot deck, don't run it underwater. That's just a bad idea.
And if you have, 1,500 other decks, why even worry about it? Yeah. Good question, though. But no, I ain't doing nothing to it. I don't care. I'm like, I'd rather give them to the Dana and Greg Newkirk so they can make a buck and get them the hell out of my closet. You know what I mean?
Kat said that's kind of suspicious, kind of like getting rid of the Jumanji box.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Newkirks, though, Greg and Dana, they do such a great job of being able to, like, keep that kind of darkness down.
No, I meant them passing it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever it was who walked up and said, here, Ken, take this.
Some kind of an asshole, I'm sure.
No, I'm sure that's not it.
Yeah, because there's so few of them in the paranormal industry, right?
Right. So don't lead us astray, damn it.
Well, then you all clearly have no idea who you've invited on this show. You obviously don't know me at all. Yeah.
That's too funny. From the snow avalanche? Assume so. So I know that you were talking when you were younger that it sounds like you have intuition outside the tarot cards, obviously. So I'm always curious, when you're doing your tarot readings, how much of it, percent-wise, do you think is like the actual cards giving you the information, and how much of it do you think is truly just your intuition? How much, it sounds like a bad word, but how much do you elaborate on the cards? Because I think people think they need to read exactly what's on the cards or they're not doing it right.
Well, yeah, absolutely good question. For me, it's equal parts intellect and intuition. Now, I'm saying this knowing very well that someone's going to steal it from me, but I do a seminar. I used to do a seminar lecture called Tarot, Intellect and Intuition that describes the fact that you need to have equal amounts of both to be able to read tarot cards properly, because you have to be able to understand the traditional meaning of them, how those cards that you're using in particular have altered that definition based on illustrations and different meanings in the book and the artist and author's interpretation of what that original definition was. And then you also need intuition that gives you the idea about exactly which definition is right. Now, so I say equal parts that switch back and forth from time to time, but all in all, they're equal. And I think that the person who is reading your cards should be that way. I think they should be a reasonably intelligent individual. No one wants an idiot shuffling their cards if it's all the same. And I certainly think that you should have a fair chunk of intuition, but one should never overrule the other. It blows my mind that people think that you can just open up a deck of cards and then intuitively be able to read them. I think that's dangerous, bad, no good, especially if you're saying, I'm going to read for other people. Now, if you don't want to read the book and you don't want to learn anything and you want to go ahead and ruin your own life, well, that's great. Go ahead and do that. And while you're at it, chase that down with the Tide Pod. But do you know what I'm saying? If you want to be an idiot, go ahead. Just don't be an idiot with other people if it's okay with you. And use your damn listen. It's just the people in the world are so insane that the last thing you want is somebody out there, some idiot giving bad advice.
It's terrifying because anybody can sit down and say, "Look at me, I'm intuitive, I'm psychic, I can read tarot, and here, let me give you advice on your life and your love life." And it's like, whoa, hold the phone here.
Yeah. It's the same thing as if you have a digital recorder and an infrared camera, you can be on television, and call yourself a paranormal investigator, I think. It's the same kind of thing, I think.
Yeah. But the key to that is you need the recorder, the infrared light, and you have to take your shirt off. Then you can be on TV.
That's what I'm forgetting.
Yes.
Damn it, I forgot that stuff.
Yeah. And everything has to be a demon. I think we are all talking about the same person.
Oh, yeah.
And God
there's
help
no
us.
secret on this show.
If I take my shirt off, they're going to think it's a demon.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, they're not going to be throwing dollar bills at me. No. They'll be yelling, "Put it on, Satan! Put it on! Put it back!"
Shut up! That is the best thing.
Are burning out.
That is the best thing I've heard all day. That's great. I love that. If I take my shirt off, they'll think it's a demon.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I take my shirt off and people think it's Sasquatch, so I kind of feel your vibe.
hey, demon, Sasquatch, we've got our own little pair of community going on.
Josh Gates is right now just fiending over this whole thing. He's like, oh, I got a demon and a Sasquatch. What are you talking about? season of my new show.
I love it. I love it.
And Josh Gates, who's absolutely gorgeous. I think he's amazing and super kind.
That I will 1,000% agree. Yep.
And he's so nice. He's always been kind to me. So
and he's funny.
I haven't met him yet, but I would love to.
Well, I would also like to get him drunk because I feel like he could handle his liquor, And I'm kind of known for that myself. So, I'd like to do the old school Russian shot for shot. You know what I mean? Just sit down at a table and see how far we can go. And he's a big old boy, but I think I can take him. I would
love to see that video.
Yeah.
I would pay money to make that happen. I'd
love that. That'd be great.
Yeah, I would. I'm agreeing. See, and I thought I was going to offend you, man. Wow.
Oh, no. I'm very offensive.
I know.
Always. But that's why I have a conversation with people before I even read them. I'm like, look, if this is your first time with me and you've not seen my show and you've not heard an interview I've done, which I don't know who on earth hasn't done any of those things, or you don't follow me on social media, well, I have to go ahead and apologize because within the next hour, I'm going to offend you at least once. At least. So,
welcome to my life. Well, yeah, that's my everyday life, though. I offend somebody at least once an hour. Mm-hmm. And I don't even try to anymore.
All I'm doing is
it just
talking.
Yeah. Right.
Thank God, though, that we don't have the little speech bubbles that pop up above our head or, oh, my Lord.
My facial expressions say it all. I don't need that. Yeah. Just my look gives it away. It's like, boom.
Yeah. But, I think we should have little thought bubbles. I really do think. And here's why.
It would save us a lot of time.
It would get me in so much trouble.
Now think about it this way, and I'm speaking as recently having started going through a divorce. I would have given anything in the world to be able to see the honest truth, what someone was really thinking, because that would have saved me so much trouble and so much time. And now in the dating world, which is just absolute shit.
Brutal.
I mean, it would be amazing to sit there across the table and read what this other person is saying. And then, I don't know, maybe it would be really good for them to see what you're really if everybody were 100% honest, thought bubbles wouldn't be needed, but that doesn't seem to ever be the thing. I don't think all the people of the world are ever going to be 100% honest, or we would have no politicians.
I would settle for people being 50% honest. That would make me happy. Somewhat honest, but not hurtful honest, but just...
Yeah. Well, I mean, but me being me and being gifted the way I am, I already know when people are lying. I already know.
Do you... I'm not a psychic, but I sometimes know this about people, even strangers. I always hate saying you guys, you're a different breed, but... Psychics must know, because if I know, you can just tell before they even talk, they're about to lie.
Yeah, absolutely that? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I was dating this really gorgeous man. I mean, God's gift. He was gorgeous, and every time he'd open his mouth, I was like, "What a liar!" What? And at one point, I said to him, "You actually don't know who I am, so let's go ahead and Google me."
I could have seen his face.
And so he Googled and he was like, "So you're a psychic medium?" I'm like, "Right." And I'm like, "Do you think that maybe you could not lie to me? Maybe? I don't know. That'd be great."
Funny how they think they can lie to us, though. I mean, I have looked people dead in the face before, and I'm like, "Do you not know what I do? Quit lying to me."
But also, it's normal everyday people know that you're lying too. No, I mean, everybody has some part of them that knows. Do you know what I mean? And so I don't understand why people still lie. I don't get it. I guess because there's still people in the world who will believe just about anything, to kind of make themselves feel better. They'll believe anything that someone. So I guess that's it. I don't know, but I don't know. There's a fair amount of bullshit going around out there, and thought bubbles would be very welcomed in my world. Absolutely.
At times, yes. Going from the way you just explained it, I could have used some thought bubbles. Yeah.
I could have used some thought bubbles.
Us some time,
I could have used some thought bubbles.
Put that on someone's. That's a Twitter post. That is. I could have used a thought bubble. Yeah.
So there's a question in chat, and I really want to get to this one because I was thinking this too. So Pat Kraft is my mom, if you haven't caught on to that yet. Mama Pat is my mom. And she's also the co-host of the Psychic and Paranormal Expos that we host in Iowa. There's 5 of them that we do a year in Waterloo, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, Ames, and the Quad Cities. And her question was, where are you located, and how do we get you to come to our expos?
Oh, well, I'll tell you. I'm located in Lexington, Kentucky, but I'll go anywhere for money. Excuse me. I'll go anywhere for money. See, I don't need thought bubbles. I'll be very honest with you.
How about lot of well wishes and
a McDonald's cheeseburger?
Well, I mean, depends. Is the McRib back?
Ew. I don't.
Okay, well then maybe you can talk to me about that. If the McRib is back, it's a possibility. I just get in touch with me. Just go to tarotbyken.com and click on the contact page, and we'll figure something out. I'm sure.
I'll chat with you afterwards. Yeah, because I thought before that it'd be great to have you come out. So
I would love to do that. I would love to go a little. I'm going to go to Palm Springs in May. And spend some time out there on the West Coast, and maybe get to actually go meet my manager, Lindsay Center. That would be great. And then maybe she's so freaking amazing. I love that woman. She's so phenomenal and so gorgeous. Oh, I'm surrounded by beautiful people. Like I'm bringing the average down. But
oh my gosh, that's horrible.
They're fantastic, and I really can't wait to meet her. But I'd like to go out a little further west, and do not that Iowa's a huge leap from Kentucky, but I would love to go do things like that. That would be great.
Yeah, and so here's where I got here, because I was thinking about the expos and you coming and who else was coming. So Mike Ricksecker is coming to some of the shows.
Oh, I love it. Now he's a good-looking kid too. I love Mike.
I love Mike and Shannon. And Vanessa is amazing, and
Vanessa was in chat and said to say hi. I just haven't got to show.
Oh,
yep. She jumped in to show some of those.
Yep.
Yeah, love
I'm not sure if she still is, but so I'd heard rumor, and I don't remember even where I heard it from, but Mike's Paracon that he's hosting the first weekend in June, I'd heard rumor that you were thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but the thing is, there's also another event that's going to be happening in June. It's pretty huge. And I'm at that point, this, no matter how, I'm totally thinking about it.
I totally put you on the spot. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just haven't met you yet. I've talked to you, but I haven't met you, so it's going to be neat to meet you.
For both of you, I hear the East Coast.
I heard that there's nothing fun on the East Coast.
The East Coast is really nice, and there's a certain podcast host that would love to meet Mr. Boggle, or Boogle, as I put it.
I've heard there's a bunch of East Coast people that need to come to Iowa.
I know, man. It's too cold right now.
Seriously, that. Yeah.
I haven't had any snow dropped on my head, thank you.
It's cold in New Hampshire, but I heard it's pretty freaking cold, and I didn't say that word. I heard it's pretty cold in Iowa this weekend.
It is a wee bit chilly. We are at -2 right now and dropping. And that's pre-wind chill.
Look, pre-wind chill. Okay, look, you're not getting me over there. Not until summer.
Wait till the summer,
Yeah. And I'm sure it's beautiful, though. A lot of these places that are cold right now just give you the best spring and summer ever. So, I'm totally down with that. But my jolly ass ain't going to go out to no -13 degrees. You forget about it. Like here in Kentucky, we have
-2 is nothing here. That I can do. I was hearing in some parts of Iowa, it's supposed to be with the wind chill, -50.
-30, 40, yeah.
Yeah. So
forget about it. Forget about it.
-15, -20, that I can do, but the -50, no.
I think there's some inflated forecasts out there because everything I'm seeing for actual forecasts are not that bad, but it's supposed to be chilly. Real temps are -teens.
Well, so, I'm not old. I turn 35 next Saturday. I'm not old. However,
close to old.
However, I am at that age where if something is cold, it hurts. Do you know what I mean? I'm just at that age where like, not kidding, not joking. I walked out my door the other day and my knees buckled and I was like, son of a bitch. Like, you've got to get me out of Kentucky. It's just way too cold here right now. So I'm at that, I'm going to use quotation marks. I'm at that age where things are starting to kind of ache if they get below
I'm
60.
only 42 and for at least 10 years now, it gets cold and I'm like, oh, my arthritis.
I mean, it's a dangerous, slippery slope that.
You know?
And once it starts, it's all downhill.
Another 10 years, forget it. I'm done.
Well, lucky for you, Ken, the shows are between March and November, so it's not so bad.
Yeah, great. I'm down, girl. Let me know.
Go in the summertime. Iowa's, it's pretty cool.
The April show's pretty. It's right on the Mississippi River, and it's a super pretty place. The Cedar Rapids show is phenomenal. The AIM show is fun. Dan Class will actually be at the AIM show as well.
We love Dan.
Dan is phenomenal.
And he has an amazing, she's got a show called Within These Walls.
Yes.
Which is now on Amazon Prime. I think they have one episode up.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's all they got right now.
Yeah, he's exceptional. Absolutely exceptional.
He is good.
But there's some, ghost girls.
I like them too.
Teresa and Jen.
They're phenomenal. But okay, I've got to tell you this story real quick. Okay, this is a really good one. So, I had a date and we were in the bed. And we were watching.
Date in the bed, or that's where it ended up.
Hey, you're supposed to just let him keep going.
Well, he brought it up. I just wanted to clarify. Is that where the date started? Like,
it
that's
was just
my kind of date. I mean,
yeah, right. Well, okay. So,
are you blushing yet?
No, hardly. Well, this is just before I slept with him. We're watching TV. And
I was Ken in another life. I'm telling you, man. I must have been him in another life.
I can't. Oh, anyway. Look, it goes like this. So
he's like, okay, I'm being serious now. Stop it.
This isn't. So, we were laying there, and he was like, "So, who are all these other people on this Video Space network?" And I was like, "Well, there's a couple of shows that are on Amazon Prime, so I'll open them up and kind of show you around." And I opened up, at this point, Nick Groff's tour, the Nick Groff tour, they had like episodes of them. So I was like, well, here's Nick and all that. And we went to a couple of others that were on. And then there was, Teresa and Jen. And I was like, oh, look, and these girls, I love these girls. So let's watch this episode 1. And so we're laying there watching it, and they're getting these aura photos done. And the woman who does the auras then starts to read Teresa's picture, her aura picture. And she says, all these things about her. And Teresa says, oh my gosh, I just had a reading with tarot reader, psychic medium Ken Boggle, and he said the exact same thing, and then turns the camera and kind of gives a smile like she knew I was watching. I had no idea she was going to do that, right? I had zero idea. So the date goes, shut up. Just press pause. No, press pause. Because my mind was broke at that moment. My mind was blown. And he was like, did you know that they were going to do it? I was like, I had no idea. He was like, so you know these girls? Like, how is that you know? I'm like, okay, well, look, these are I read for them. I read for Teresa and Jen. I just read for them last week. I had no idea they were going to do that. But it was such an unbelievable aphrodisiac to have had your name. And somebody look you in the face in camera and they're like, I know you're watching. That it was a wonderful, magical evening that
they got better after that point.
That I swear that I will remember for the next couple of months of my life. I'm sure I'll still remember it months from now. Nothing I'll take with me. Yeah, nothing I'll take with me. Yeah, nothing I'll take with me to the grave because he wasn't all that. But certainly,
for a couple months it will do.
For a month or two, I'll remember that.
But on a cold, lonely day, it'll do.
I'm crying. I just have to say, I am like literally wiping tears down my face right now.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome.
It in chat, by the way, just so you know.
Oh,
they're eating it up.
And please, if you're listening to the chat or if you're listening to the show, please go find me on social media. Especially on Facebook. Send me a friend request. Just facebook.com/Ken Boggle. KenBoggle.
It's It's not as it is spelled on the show.
It's just teasing. But do that because like I'll follow you back and like I participate in people's posts and I pay attention to what you're doing and you know
You're
I'm
just
not
as funny on Facebook as you are tonight.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, probably I would say because it's just all the same. It's all the same person. If I don't have something to say, I don't say anything at all, and I go kind of radio silent sometimes because it's like you know my voice isn't needed in the moment, or my idea or my opinion isn't. But I'm always shooting my mouth off on Twitter about something at some point in the day.
That's what it's for, isn't it? I mean, those places were made for people to just shoot off on, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I don't know. Like, I prefer Twitter because I can't really get in that much trouble on Twitter. You know,
I could.
I mean, like, and I'm not being political, but I'm saying like the president and Kanye West are the only two people in the world that I know that can get in trouble on Twitter. Because like I can't get in trouble in 150 characters or less. You know,
I hate that it limits me. I'm like mid thought. I'm like, damn it! Now I have to go back and censor my own statement. And
I don't have that issue. My thoughts aren't that big. It's perfect.
After I'm done hashtagging, I've only got 6 letters left.
Yeah, that is true. That is true, yeah.
And adding my little emojis of a winky face, you know what I mean? And like a little magical ball or something. I've only got 3 letters left.
Yeah, that is very true.
You know, but I post like things on the Twitter, stuff like that, which is at Ken Boggle. Everything, even the Instagram is at Ken Boggle. Like, so yeah, follow me there and stuff like that because I'll follow you back and we'll participate in each other's life. I'm not one of those. Someone said to me, Ken, what do you really want to do with your career? And I was like, well, obviously, I want to, you know, change people's lives and help them see themselves in their situations clearly. But also, you know, I want to make a ton of money because like that's my livelihood and I want to make cash. But at the same time, I was like, I never want to be the kind of person who stops participating in everybody's life. Exactly. And it was Donnie Irvin from Weird Weekends. And Donnie Irvin said to me, Ken, those things are incompatible. If you get so big, you're going to have to stop caring about absolutely everybody.
Why?
Well, he was saying that, you know, to the level of which you're somebody like Nick Groff or something like that, you can't possibly, you know what I mean? You can't possibly get to absolutely everybody. But I think somebody like Nick Groff Nick does an exceptional job of going through and like following people back and like saying hello and liking your messages and things like that. And that's the kind of person I want to be because that's the kind of person I am, you know? I want to be able to, when Facebook says it's your birthday, say, hey, happy birthday, you know, even if it's just those 3 words. I think I want to be that person. Yeah. And I go through Instagram on a daily basis and I like everything I possibly can. And if you mention me on Twitter and you're not a total asshole, then like I will retweet you and, you know, maybe send you some kind of like great little message. I mean, that's what I do. So, I always like to be social in that way. And that's something I always hope, no matter where my career takes me, I hope that I will always be that way. Always.
I think that's,
and I think that's so important, you know, for people to just remember that regardless of how well or how not well we're known, we all put our pants on the same way, you know, so don't get all hoity-toity that you're better than
same way.
Right? I mean, well, taking them off is way more fun.
Right. But, Thank God for Velcro.
There's nobody that's better than anybody else, and it's so important, and that's what endears you to people. You know, I sat back and watched Nick interact with people, and he maybe can't reach everybody, but the people that he talks to, he is genuinely interested in what they have to say, and he's paying attention to them, and you know, that's the type of people should strive to be.
About Nick, I had like a 10-minute conversation with him and didn't even know it was him.
Yeah. Really? You didn't know?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I didn't know it was him. I really didn't realize the quote-unquote handle. I realized after, but he was very gracious, very nice. And
so this wasn't in person, right?
No.
Oh, okay, because I was like, that would really have been a trick if you hadn't recognized.
Right?
He's like 9 feet tall and like gorgeous.
I think in person, I might recognize him. I'm pretty sure I would.
I'm sure that if you
pictures and stuff,
but you know, it's like
I am me.
Well, I mean, but it's like Elizabeth saying, you know, she's exceptional at when you talk to Elizabeth. you're the only person in the world. The two of you are the only two people in the world. There's something magic.
One friggin' smart woman.
Let me tell you, there is something very magic about that woman. Yeah. Something very magic. When she and I, because I read for her, and she owns the show. I mean, we're in business together doing the show and stuff, and we spend quite a bit of time together. Whenever we're there, I feel like this is my sister. And the whole world disappears. And it's just, I get lost in her eyes. And she's so damn smart and intelligent, so open-minded that, like, you can talk to Elizabeth about anything, absolutely anything. And she's so intuitive that it's like, it's mind-boggling, that, for sure. I adore that woman.
Yeah. Watching her brain work even while you're talking to her is fascinating. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. She's like, what is it in the direct? She's like a velociraptor when she looks at you. Yeah. It's kind of.
She's working things out. You know what I mean? Like she's putting, the 2 and 2 together. I love that.
Yes,
That's so
that
smart.
Woman connects dots.
Yeah,
definitely,
for sure.
I'm gonna have a sneezing fit, so I'm gonna mute my mic and step away for a second.
Okay.
Well, okay then. She didn't get it muted. So what do you have coming up here going forward, Ken?
Well, I have, let's see, I've got, I've got Mystical Paranormal Fair in February. That happens in Lexington, Kentucky at 1084 Whipple Court. For more information, go to mysticalfairlex.com. I have the Inner Light Festival, and that will be sometime later, closer to spring. That's through Mama Ruby's. For more information, find them on Facebook at Mama Ruby's events and things. And then in April, I'm going to Salem Con. So there's going to be like John Zaffis and Chad Lindbergh and Grant Wilson and a couple of really other, Rosalind Bound, who's just phenomenal too, and myself and a couple of other folks and some vendors and lecturers, and I'm going to do a lecture on tarot and and so that's going to be April 13th
and 14th, I think, because I believe that's the one.
I think this one's the 5th and 6th.
Is it?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
I was thinking that was the one that Dan said that he was going to not go to so he could come to our expo, but maybe it was a different one.
Yeah, and then there's Pat Kraft is following me, and I'm in the moment following her back if I sound very disconnected. So anyway, then I've got an event coming up in June. That's going to be an undisclosed location because the Weird Weekends, Danny Irvin, he hasn't quite figured out exactly where he's going to do this huge thing, or at least nailed down the date. But he's got a phenomenal event planned, and I can't wait to be a part of it. Then we have in August, there is an event kind of happening with Michael O'Neill. There's more information to come about that soon, but definitely in September, Scarefest. Go to thescarefest.com. I can't really tell you who they've already landed as celebrity guests until the contracts have been done. But I was just at a bar the other night, and one of my dear friends was telling me all about everybody that they have already kind of got on the hook, and it's going to be a blast. Now there I will do a lecture, and I'll also do a 1 hour talk called Paranormal Hangover. This will be Paranormal Hangover Part 3, where I talk about paranormal celebrities and the kind of the shenanigans that have happened that year with me and paranormal celebrities. And and then of course I do readings and I host a drag show and a VIP party and maybe do some karaoke and definitely get drunk for most of the weekend. And so, thescarefest.com. And also, like I said, go to Mystical Fair LEX and make a little weekend trip to Kentucky and see me in person. And I have a little private room. They won't even let me do it like out in the open because they're like, your mouth is just too much. You have to have a private room. So they have a little private room. The door locks and everything. We'll go in there and be real cool. It'll be a little private tarot date, just me and you. And, it'll be fabulous. So come do that. That's going to be, it happens every month. Mystical Fair does. So come do that.
Awesome. Miss Shea, are you muted? Because you weren't muted before, so now I think you probably might be.
No, I had time to mute it for the show, but not you guys.
Oh.
So you guys could hear me, but they couldn't.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't have time to mute Skype. It's like one or the other. I can mute Skype or you guys, and I decided the people in chat and listening didn't need to hear that, but you guys could, and I am sorry, but
No, you're fine.
it's close. It was barely like able to hit the button, and then boom, it started.
And you're right, Pat. He would be a fun one to take with us on karaoke.
Oh my god! Karaoke. Okay, so look, I am not a good singer. I'm not a great singer.
That doesn't matter. Yeah.
Well, hold on to it. Hold on. However, hold on to it. I may not be a great singer, but I am an amazing entertainer. Right? I have been known to shut places down with karaoke. Like there's one place I left in embers. I just burned it to the ground. And so much so that the last time I was doing karaoke, the bartenders made everybody stop. Nobody got a drink. She just lifted her phone and was like, I'm videoing this because this has to go on Facebook. She's like, this guy here. Later, I went up to her and was like, you totally can't post that. Like, that's not going to happen because nobody wants to see Ken Boggle do a full back bend pelvic thrust. You know what I mean?
I do.
I'm sure there's people who do.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is definitely an experience. So yeah, karaoke, I've got you. If you've got a bar tab, I can clear it by doing one song. You know what I mean? Like I've got you. Just get behind me. It's going to work out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We went out karaoke one time last year after one of the expos last year. And it was funny because Dan got up there and he was singing a song and he's really good, Dan Class.
That's
and I'm
what
like,
Mama Pat's talking about too right now.
Yeah, he was really good. And he comes back afterwards. He's like, yeah, I've never sang karaoke before. I'm like, you what? Really? You just nailed that and you've never sang before? Really?
I totally don't. I think that's total bullshit. Because I 10-to-1 Dan Class, and I totally believe is an amazing singer. Totally. But
he is actually.
Usually amazing singers are in the shower doing it.
That's what he said, is that he's done it at home and things, but he'd never done karaoke before.
Okay, yeah, yeah. All right, then I'm behind it. I get it. Yeah, that's the truth. Because I'm even bad singers. I don't know many people who don't sing. Like if you're not singing in your private time, you and I possibly not friends. You know what I mean? Maybe
you're probably dead inside.
Right.
Yeah, or a demon.
Right, because I'm in the shower doing private dancer. I don't have time for my life for somebody who doesn't understand how amazing that thought is. You know?
Yeah. No, I think people sing all the time to themselves, and that's what Dan was saying too. Is that he sings at home and he's done other things, but never karaoke up in front of people.
I think that maybe Dan and I should do maybe some Don Henley and the Eagles. Maybe do Hotel California together or something.
I could picture your voice doing that.
And then we could possibly another really great one who does karaoke is Dustin Perry. I think if he and Dustin, myself, and Dan could get together and do a little karaoke Eagles, I think it would be amazing. I think the whole world would just set off fire.
Place.
Yeah, no,
right?
Yes, a better place. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'll be meeting Dustin for the first time here coming in March, so I will try to coordinate and get you guys all at the same expo, and this is a date.
Yeah, well, now explain to him that I'm not going to do Elvis because that's what he does with Cody.
He always wants to do Elvis.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it, and he's good at it. But that's his gig with Cody. We're going to have to pull him out of the Elvis. Listen to me, like I'm planning this, like it's something that's going to happen. It's only going to happen. We should make that happen. Tell him, me, you, Dan Class, the Eagles, happening.
Done.
We'll start tweeting it. Everybody,
Okay.
everybody listening, tweet that at the same time, and it might happen.
Yeah, tag my ass.
Everybody who's listening needs to go out and tag
It's
Dan Class, Ken Boggle, Dustin Perry. Karaoke has to happen at the Psychic and Paranormal Expos.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Peggy Gypsy saying she calls bullshit on the Dan Class not singing anything because he always sings in the car too.
Yeah,
Right.
He said he sings. He did, yeah, and he is really good. Surprised, although he sang Humpty Dance, and I don't know if you can be good at that song.
You're not supposed to be. You're not, number one, that song.
Oh my God, I died.
Yeah, you're not supposed to sing it good. But anybody that actually gets up and actually sings the full song, I love.
He did,
Yeah.
and he
Anyway,
knew
I
it.
don't care.
Yeah.
He did not have to watch the words, just for the record.
Okay, now look, obviously it was
phenomenal.
he was obviously he's been in training, he's been in rehearsals. That Dan Class.
Oh my gosh.
Love him.
It wasn't his first song. His first song was really good, and he got up and the music started for that. And I think all of our jaws just dropped like, what the hell are you singing? It was so good. It's out there somewhere. If you go out to Dan's Periscope, we streamed everything.
Periscope. I don't even understand what it is, to be honest.
I don't know.
Thing, right? It's a Twitter thing, right?
I have no idea. Well, they're married to Twitter.
Okay.
And it's a great little thing. I like Periscope. I remember I had my gallbladder taken out years ago, and the first thing I did out of surgery was go on Periscope and look at my diseased gallbladder. And, look, this is my morphine drip. And people were like, "You have got someone take his phone away from him." But this is back when oversharing was cool. Now oversharing is, it's over. But yeah, it was totally cool back then. But another cool part of that story is that as soon as I was off Periscope, high on morphine, I was said to the nurse, "Is it possible for you to get me a pen and a piece of paper?" And she said, "Sure." And I actually created one of my most profound, successful, and intensively opening tarot spreads of my entire career. I've created a bunch of different ones, but somehow that day, at that time, I created a spread called The Mirror, and it has served me for 6 years, and it is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah.
You're getting requests in the chat to make sure you come to some expos, so just so you know.
Okay. Tell them all that they should crowdsource GoFundMe and make that happen.
Well, Amy,
Bing.
I'll probably butcher this. Binging.
We just go with Bing. We stop at Bing.
Amy Bing is saying, "I'll put money in the pot for Boggle."
Okay, down with that.
She must be a real fan because she spelled your name right.
Oh, way to go, gal. Way to go.
Amy's awesome.
Totally down with that.
Amy is awesome.
Totally.
Oh, my goodness. I don't even know where we've been and what we should ask.
I'm just letting it flow. I'm just sitting back because I didn't even, my normal question is, what do you do in your downtime? What do you like to do? Fine. And he's talking karaoke and morphine.
Yeah.
Because the two of those should always go hand in hand.
Oh, no, they should. Yes. Now, in my downtime.
For the record, though, before you go there, I want to say I've done karaoke twice, and the bar also got shut down. Not quite for the same reason as you. They heard me singing and was like, "Get out!" So.
Oh no! Shut it!
You're lying.
BS. Total BS.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Only a little. But.
A little bit, just a little bit of the lie. So in my downtime, I like to eat. I love to eat.
Oh, I've heard you say that.
I love to eat. And
you cook too. I've seen some of the things you've put together.
I cook a little bit, but nothing great. Like I've been watching the Great British Baking Show on Netflix, and I think I'm like Paul Hollywood or Mary Berry. Like I'm going to turn out some kind of like. You
have a sandwich named after you.
No, that's the burger. Yeah, I have a burger named after me. Yeah, the Boggle Burger, and that's in Kentucky at the Bad Wolf Burgers. Yeah.
What's on it? Wait, what's on it?
It is a toasted bun with a 10-ounce Cajun seasoned beef patty. It has beer cheese. Now let's go through it. Beer cheese, fried onions, lettuce, tomato, pickles, bacon, guacamole, marinara, Gouda, cheddar, and Swiss cheeses.
Holy crap! So the Ken Boggle burger is also all that. I mean,
so it's so big that you have to serve it with a knife, like inside of, like you have to stab it with a knife in the top to keep this thing together. And huge. It is messy as hell. So somebody who bought it said to it. Someone who said it was just like, "Ken, okay, look, this burger is obviously you. It's messy as hell, right? Obviously you, and it comes with a knife. It's obviously they worked really hard to engineer this burger after you." I'm like, yeah, clearly. But anywho, yeah. So there's that. I love to play the guitar. I love to play the piano. I love to play the drums. I love to.
Nice.
I love to spend time with my friends, and I love going to this bar in Lexington called Old Hookers. It's at 205 South Limestone. I'm such a great person to remember addresses. It's at 205 South Limestone here in Lexington, and it is my cheers. I walk in and they scream Boggle, like Norm, Norm. Anyway, it's just, that's usually where I do karaoke. The other day I was there till like 3 a.m. doing karaoke, and me and the bartender locked the door. It's like 2:30 and the bar shut down. So for the last 30 minutes we were doing Meatloaf, just me and her, drunk, having the time of our life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exceptional.
Sorry. Go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, that was...
I speak out loud and I don't realize I'm talking.
That was totally the end of that. That was totally the end of that thought. Go right ahead.
Peggy's like, I'm waiting for my answer. And I'm like, I didn't see a question. And I just understood that I did see the question, but didn't understand it was a question. So, and she did this to me and Kelly live.
Oh my God, she sucked.
Peggy Gypsy did this live. She was our guest, and she put us on the spot and asked us the same question. So she wants to know who your paranormal crush is.
My paranormal crush?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Only one.
Only one?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's where my issue was.
Okay. 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 Look. I don't want to confuse anybody about what I'm going to say next.
I said this. That's how I started mine when I answered her. Go ahead.
It's Elizabeth Saint, and here's why. I love someone I can talk to, and I love someone with intense eyes, and I love someone who laughs with every part of their body. That's her. Now, I know a lot of these guys, a lot of the paranormal guys, a lot of them, I think nobody in the world wears pants like Grant Wilson does. I think he wears pants like a pro. Like, if you've ever seen Grant Wilson in jeans, he looks amazing in slacks. He looks amazing in a cargo short. Shut up. Grant Wilson's attractive. Dustin Perry, great, tall, skinny, white, like total body of like a Greek god. Like, just he's gorgeous, beautifully built. Dustin Perry, great. However, there's little Elizabeth Saint, and she's just like this dark beauty. And I just am so in love with her. We were in the basement one night after filming an episode, and we were making a bed together. It's like really late at night. We'd just come back from having Chinese food together. She's just got these like great, these warm, beautiful sheets out of this dryer. And like, we're making this bed, and she's on one side and it's late at night, and I'm on the other side, and we're like looking at each other while we're making this bed. And I looked over and I was like, what's interesting? She said, what? I said, this moment is totally lost on me. Like, totally lost. As a gay man, this moment's lost. However, I totally noticed the beauty in her in any light, in any way, with makeup or without. She's just totally, just such a dark beauty. I love her. She's just gorgeous. Yeah, so that's my crush. I always say that she and I are like lesbian sorority sisters. That's what I always say about me and Elizabeth Saint.
I don't know if this is like politically correct to say and all that BS, but I don't know if beauty has anything to do with sexuality, because I am totally into guys, but I find more women beautiful than I do men. I think their personality shines through.
Well, yeah.
Does that make sense? I say things wrong all the time, and I get shit on for it, and I'm trying to be nice, but like,
you appreciate things that look good. What does it matter if it's male or female?
And it doesn't even matter if you look good. I think maybe I just see the beauty inside people. It doesn't matter what the package is.
Sometimes it does.
Right. Well,
it doesn't hurt. I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying. Oh, Kelly's blushing now and covering her mouth. We can see her. This doesn't happen often, so when it does, she's giving me the stop shit. No. So like, sorry,
it just slipped out.
I think like this. I think that I don't see a difference in gender in terms of like what I think is beautiful. I don't, because I know all kinds of really beautiful women. However, I have recently discovered that people who follow you have to know where you are. And I know that sounds strange, but they have to know what side of the fence you're on. And if you throw anything at them that's remotely challenging that, they panic.
Yeah.
Oh, your post the other day was hilarious. Everybody was like,
yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I went to dinner with a girlfriend of mine, and her name's Tammy. She's fabulous, and she gets her hair done at my day job. I manage a salon. I don't cut hair. I manage a salon, and she gets her hair done there. And she and I went to have drinks, and we got sloshed. It was at Johnny Carino's, and we took a selfie, and I wrote, "Say hello to my girlfriend Tammy."
Oh,
Hashtag real love, because I'm going through this divorce thing, and I think my friends are the closest thing I have to real love. I had 107 private messages. Now, that's not including the 300 people that messaged me about it on the post, but it's 107 private messages about, Ken, I thought you were gay. One girl said, Ken, you said there was a couple of girls who said, Ken, you said if you ever went straight that we would be together. But there was one girl who took it to the extreme and got kind of aggressive about it. And I was like, that's changed our relationship totally. I'm like, that's never going to happen. And they were like, so why would you make these promises to all these women? I was like, because that's not how it works. That's
because I don't plan on switching teams.
I mean, that's not how it works. But, so anyway, my mother called me and she said, so when do I get to meet when do I get to meet Tammy? And I was like, Mom, I'm dating 9 men at the same time. What do you want from me? Like, you really think I'm going to be marrying Tammy? Like, come on. Essentially, I'm Blanche Devereaux. What do you want from me?
It was hilarious. I was watching the responses on it, and I'm just like, oh, good Lord, people calm down. It was just a statement.
Yeah, totally.
Didn't you you didn't repost it? Didn't you update the original?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you had so many, you didn't even repost. You're not like, hey, that last post. You're like, update on this post right here. I am still me.
Yeah.
I didn't mean girlfriend in that way, people. Yeah, now I remember.
I was like, I meant girlfriend is in, hey girl, let's go get our hair did.
Right?
Not hey girl, move in. You know what I mean? Like, get it together. Yeah. Do you all not know me at all? Like, what's happening here? What's happening?
Oh, people and their perceptions and jumping to conclusions, I tell you.
Well, thank God they do it, because, I mean, it keeps you interesting, I guess. In a way.
It was for a good giggle, definitely.
Yeah. I don't know. A couple of those messages, I was like, son of a gun. I thought these people were my friends. You know what I mean? Like, how do you not know that? I mean, hey, girl.
Good giggle for us, not you.
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They just love you in here. Let me tell you.
Well, I'm really thankful that everybody's listening, and I hope that everybody has a good time. Yeah, I know that there's probably 1,000 things you'd rather do than listen to me on a Friday night, but I'm really glad you did.
Not me.
I don't know. From the comments and posts, I think there's a lot of people who'd sit and just listen to you read the phone book. Just saying.
I'm getting messages. Not only now, which I am, and I'm ignoring. Sorry, people. They know the rules. I don't accept messages unless you're my co-host during the show. But I'm getting messages from that, and I was getting message all day. I'm not going to be in chat, but I'm listening. And Tony Hartford from
Scars.
Scars. It was Mars before. She was from Maine. Now I'm going to be listening. He's my favorite, but she's not in chat. But so I want to give her a special shout out. I'm getting tons of them, but I can't open my messages when I'm on the air, because then I start swearing and telling people off, and it sidetracks us.
Well, I got to tell you, this is the first time that I've ever been on a podcast where where I have noticed that people who've shared it and they've all posted something lovely and sweet or nice. And unlike all day, the all day I've noticed that, and I was like, this is a group of really great listeners. So it was
they really are.
Yeah, and I was like, I go back and I made sure that every time I saw someone who shared it, I made sure that we were friends on Facebook, or that we were in somehow touch with one another. And so this has been a really wonderful thing for me just throughout the day to have been able to have seen how nice your listeners are and how much that means to me. And coming from podcasting, which is what I did for 5 years before. Before I stopped and focused totally on tarot, podcasting is hard. It ain't easy, and it ain't pretty, and it is difficult. And trying to give you a quality, entertaining show week after week, or days. Sometimes people only get a couple of days, like you won't get a couple of days in between here and there. It's so hard. and you have to plan guests, and you have to do all these other things. So it's difficult, but having great listeners like you all have make it worth it. And so congratulations to that. And, thank everybody who's, been participating and enjoying it. I know that Jennifer Valquette, who is a client of mine, is blowing it up on Twitter because she's like ashamed to like speak up in the chat room. She's so like that. That's so Jennifer.
We have a lot of listeners like that.
Yeah. She's just so
not in chat. Yeah.
What kills me, she's always says, I'm so shy. I want to talk up, or I want to speak up, or I want to call in, but I'm just so shy. I'm like, girl, quit being that way. Just be you and open your mouth and you'll be fine. But, that's our Jennifer, and I love her. She'll one day maybe she'll stop being that way and just open up because she's a lovely, fabulous gal. But anyway, for the Ken Boggle podcast, it was just exceptionally hard and grueling work. And I have wonderful, great clients and friends because of it. And it seems like you all have a wonderful, great group of people who are following you. And it's amazing.
I call them chatters. I call them chatters. And if it wasn't for the chatters, I would not do this because the people that are in chat, and never mind the people that are in chat, but they message us, and they, even the ones that don't want to be in chat, which I understand, they listen and they appreciate us, because I am one of those people that you either love me or you hate me. There's no in between. None. It's one or the other.
That's why we get along, though.
Yeah, I don't pretend to be something I'm not. This is me, like me, or don't, But they are so awesome. I went from my third podcast to my third episode on a podcast to owning a network. It was like that quick. And however many months later, they're here and they're still supporting us. And
I mean, it warms your heart, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Because even when I screw up, I spelled your name wrong, and instead of waiting for you to see it, I'll make fun of myself. But you were there, what happened. I was rushing. Plus, I'm a terrible speller.
You were Russian.
Look, I remember one of the episodes I did. I called Elizabeth Saint Booth, because my friends Chris and Rachel Marie, they're the Saint Booths, and so it's one of those things like it happens, and that's the part of being live. Everybody thinks, oh, how hard's a podcast? Well, actually,
hard sometimes,
there's two different kinds.
Easy part, talking, that's easy.
But like
before and after, forget it.
Podcasting is really somebody who records a show, saves it, edits it, and then uploads it. That's what podcasting is. And then there's live internet radio podcasting, where you are actually live in the moment. What comes out of your mouth comes out of your mouth, and it's like, it's fantastic, but it is hard to do. And so, just like I said, being entertaining is one thing, but hell, watching your mouth is another. So whenever I'm on this program, I'm always very kind of.
I own my own network because I couldn't watch my mouth. To be honest, that's what happened.
I'm always on somebody's show, and I'm like, can I cuss? Is this going to be a thing where I'm going to enjoy myself for the next hour, or what? Or
am I going to have to premeditate all my answers?
Yes, exactly that. And you can always go back and listen to like when I'm comfortable and when I'm not comfortable. And usually it's when the F-bomb is flown out of my mouth at least once that I'm like, yeah, there he is. There's Ken Boggle.
Yep.
That's what we say about Shea when it comes on too. It's like, there she is.
I am so much better now. I try so hard because I say the F-bomb a little bit too much sometimes, and I try now. Before I didn't care, and I just try not to say it too much, but then other times I don't.
There is so much truth about how hard it can be, though, because like I'm here with this since I've been helping with you, Shea, for the last few months. I'm perfectly comfortable doing this one, but I am more nervous doing my own, and I noticed even like Dan was my guest on Wednesday, and him and I.
Show, by the way.
Thanks, but we're never serious. Dan and I can't say 3 sentences to each other and keep it serious, and we did, and it was just like, I think I went like total business mode, and I don't know. I need to stop. I
don't want this to be, and it's in the description. Come have fun, because I'm a fun person, and I say fuck. I say fuck a lot, and
Maybe that's how I need to start out my shows.
Yeah.
No.
This is Kelly. Fuck.
my first show on this network was with Kelly. She was on here, and I started off my very first show on my network with, "You either like me or don't, and if you don't like me, you can lick me." That's how this. That's how this network is going to go. So
well,
that's how I am.
It does. It totally. It does sort of limit people who listen to you. Like being that way does sort of limit. However, you're having more fun.
People that listen to me to be fake.
Right. You're having more fun with people who are more your speed if you are true to yourself. Now, if you don't cuss and it's not your thing, great, wonderful. Do that, And then everybody who likes to pretend that they don't drop the F-bomb when they stub their toe can, they can all listen to you too, But it's, I don't, for me, it was always like, someone said to me, okay, I'm going to tell a personal story.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been doing this for 6 years, and there was a guy, and he said, "I'm totally in love with you, and I think enough time has gone between the announcement of your divorce and now for me to tell you that I'm in love with you." And he said, "I think that we should be together." And I was like, "I don't know you." And he was like, "I've listened to you for 6 years, and I've watched your shows, and I've read your blogs, and all this stuff." And I was like, "That makes it even worse because you know me better than I know you." And then it hit me. Who I am right now is who I am always. I'm always that way, Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know what? You do kind of know me because I've always, when I started this, I always said, I'm never going to be anything other than what I really, really am.
Amen.
That way I never get tired of it. I don't have to keep up a facade. I can just be me. Now, Ken Boggle is a little bit bigger than what I'm like in basketball shorts and a faux fur robe.
Yeah.
With a cheese Danish on my belly, eating the Great British, watching the Great British Baking Show on Netflix at 2:00 in the morning. Like, he's a little bit bigger than I am, in my day-to-day life. But, even in the hair salon, people are always like, "Oh my God, I love Ken. He's so this, he's so that." It's like, yeah, because that's really what I'm like, So yeah, being true to who you are is the most exceptional thing you can possibly do in a world that's so full of fakery, And people always say,
persona, people can see straight through it if you're putting on a persona. Just be you.
Yeah, and
I would rather have no listeners and fail and fall on my face than to pretend.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it. Number one, I'm not good at it. But number two, this is who I am, and
what you see is what you get.
It is, I love everybody, and if you hate me, I'll love you more because you need it.
Because I'm awesome.
Well, I'm always really grateful for the people who hate me. I'm really grateful for them because at the end of the day, they keep me on my toes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of.
And they serve us really great.
I'm getting tired of it, but I kind of understand.
No, don't. Look at it this way. Like, it's an inspiration. You know what I mean? Think of it as an inspirational thing. If you are totally being you so much so that someone can't stand it, well, then you're doing it just about the right amount. You maybe need to lean in a little bit further.
Yeah. What I can't figure out is the ones that hate me so much. The ones that hate me so much. Why do I get messages from you once a month saying what I said on my podcast? If you hate me that much, why are you listening?
Well, it's like I was talking to Grant Wilson, and he was asking me about haters, and I was like, haters are fans in a different outfit. Mm-hmm. They're just wearing a different outfit. That's it. They're totally fans, or they wouldn't be listening, and they certainly wouldn't care.
Yeah.
There was one thing that I saw that was kind of eye-opening to me, and I can't even remember where I saw it, but it said, the people who are trying to bring you down or below you don't pay attention. It's like that's kind of surreal. If they're trying to get in your way, there's a reason for that. And it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with what they're lacking, with what they need to fix about themselves. As long as you're being true to who you are, they need to look at who they are and what they're dealing with and figure their own shit out. Leave me alone, because I'm happy.
That's right. That's totally true. But, the one thing I always love to pay attention to haters. I love it. It cracks me up and makes me it just thrills me.
You're like overly sweet to them.
I had to stop. But I usually, at first I use their names, now I don't.
It feeds my soul. I don't know why, but it feeds my soul.
Because deep down we're evil bitches, Ken.
Yeah, probably. Which is the third time that's been said to me today.
I see
no joke.
Okay, Shea will tell you though. Shea will tell you if I'm calling you a bitch, it means I adore you. So just
that's
saying.
my nickname. I thought she didn't like me, but come to find out, it's a love term.
Yeah.
Well, it's a term of endearment, right?
It is,
yes,
absolutely.
Exactly.
The one thing I do not pay attention to, though, there's one thing I do not pay attention to, and that's the numbers. Like, I don't care how many followers I have. I don't care how many friends on Facebook I have. I don't care how many people are liking my post. I don't care how many people listen to this or listen to that. To me, as long as I do the best job I possibly can and I give it the best, I do the best I can to entertain people and have a good time doing it. That's what matters. And as long as everybody who's been a part of it is proud of it, that's what I'm good. Like tonight, when we finish this up, I will go back and listen to the entire thing. And then tomorrow I will share it, and all this other stuff. That way I can go back and say, okay, maybe next time I don't talk about how great Grant Wilson looks in a pair of pants.
Well, why not? Because it's true.
Listen.
Or maybe next time I
don't listen.
Maybe next time I talk about how, maybe I talk about it even more. You know what I mean? Like I go back and I listen to that kind of thing. I'm like, okay, I'm proud of that. So I love that kind of a thing. And I love haters. I love lovers. I love chatters. I love all of that. But the one thing I don't pay any attention to is the numbers. I just don't.
And I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. So
yeah.
Right. That's good. You should put that on your Facebook. That's a good one. That is. Yeah.
I sneeze again. Sorry, guys.
Quality over quantity. But no, it's fun. And it's funny because when I know that somebody's because it's not that I've done anything all that phenomenal, but I've got people who would love to see me fail. And it's funny because when I know that they're out there and they're doing something, I just give them a bigger smile and it's like, hi,
Yeah, right. So you see, it's in a way, it pushes you to be even better. You know what I mean? It pushes you to be even better. And one of my dearest friends for the longest time, her name's Jacqueline. She said to me, look, you're about to do something really public. And I know that you have a really bad temper and you're kind of aggressive. And I don't want you to have your feelings hurt when people don't like you. And I was like, Jacqueline, that's going to be my favorite part. Are you kidding me? That's going to be my favorite thing.
I'm telling you, I was you in a past life. Seriously.
So when Zach Baggins and I had a little moment where we didn't get along, it was to me, it was delicious. Do you know what I mean? Like I still live on that story. And it was like 6 years ago.
We don't use the full name. We call him douchebag. We call him douchebaggins on the show.
Oh, well, I would never do that, but I did call him that to his face, and I'm very proud of that moment.
I would have liked to see that. I know I'm a horrible person. I can't help it. I don't.
But again, that's yet another thing that really limits you in the industry is if you don't follow the. Let me clean that up before I say it. If you don't follow the hierarchy of television ratings and kiss the ass of those people who have the highest ones, the shows that are doing. If you don't do that, it really does limit you.
Which I don't. So, yeah.
And I totally could give a shit. So, that's the thing. I think that's the thing that makes it sort of harder for me because I know, I watch people who came up after me and they're doing really, really great and wonderful, and I'm really happy for them. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, you have to hang out with that person? I'm so sorry. Yeah. Or you have to pretend that you like them the entire weekend? Like, really? Could not be more apologetic,
I can't pretend for an hour, never mind. And I'm laughing and I'm making jokes, but Kelly knows me, that some of the people listening understand that I really know where you're coming from on this, because I don't pretend and I say too much and it bites me in the ass, but then again, I don't care.
This is where that blank stare that we were talking about at the beginning, though, comes in, because I am amazing at ignoring you if I don't like you. I don't have to but I refuse to kiss the ass of people that
I can't
think they're wonderful. The more wonderful you think you are, the less I like you.
Well, I mean, I think I'm pretty great, but
but you are. So that
thanks, babe. Thanks, lover. But for me, it comes to
I have
respect.
so many comments, but I sorry.
like, but for me, it comes to respect. Like if I can respect you, then I can be in the same room with you.
Right.
I don't have to agree with you. I don't. But if I can respect you, that's great. We don't have to agree. If you're going to walk around like you're the shit, though, you better have earned that title.
That's right. That's what I say. And now, I mean, I was born in a place called Hippo Holler. You know, I came from nothing. And then to own your own business and to have a television show and stuff like that, I'm proud of that. I worked hard for that. And not that it's egotistical or narcissistic or anything like that. I just know how hard I struggled. I remember. Yeah, but you know,
and I refuse to be ashamed of how far I've come.
Well, now listen, I was so poor. And now a lot of people don't know this, but I used to be so poor that I would serve tables, and when the table would leave, I would literally have to eat the scraps off their plate to get through the day. That's how poor I was. So now I look at my life and I say, look, you've got over $1,000 in the bank. You know, you've got a car that's paid for. You've got a roof over your head. You've got a refrigerator full of food. You've got people who love you. You've got a wonderful following of amazing, amazing clients and friends and family and all this. Like, that's pretty damn good. Do you know what I mean? That's pretty damn good.
There's a difference, Ken, and I mean this sincerely. There's a difference between bragging about where you started and where you came from, because you've earned that. But there's
a difference between pride and arrogance.
There is. Thank you. That's what I was trying to do. There's a difference, because everybody should be. You should be proud of yourself.
You should be. Absolutely.
Proud of where you are, proud of where you're going, but there's a difference, you know. If you think you're better than everybody else, you know, that's.
Well, no, I am kind of known for being a bit of a diva, a little bit for occasionally.
Diva
a little bit
does not mean better than everybody.
Diva just means we know what we deserve.
Right. Yeah. Well, and so you know, I sponsor these different events, and like I'm on the board of these different conventions and things like this, and. You know, I'll go through some place, and every year it never fails. There's somebody who looks at me and says, "Excuse me, where's your pass?" Or "Excuse me, where's your tag?" Or "Excuse me, who are you?" And I always say, Can you go ahead and open up the program and turn to the last page, the one that's in big, huge print that says Ken Boggle, and
that's
then
my picture.
That's me, and I paid thousands of dollars for that. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been working my ass off for the last 6 years. You know, and so I've developed a little bit of a name for myself being that way. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I mean, I work really, 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 really hard.
That.
You know,
you don't think you're better than me. I mean, I wouldn't have had you on the show if that was your attitude. I don't have people like that on the show.
I mean, you go up to Elton John and ask him where his backstage pass is. Go right ahead and see how that works.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
You know, my good friend Elton would eat you alive. You know what I mean? Like, Elton is not going to play with that. Or nor is Tina, you know, or something like that. Or anyway, point being, there's a huge difference between being proud of who you are and from where you came versus being able to just sort of be a complete and total douche. You know, it's completely two different things, I guess. Yeah.
Totally.
You've earned where you're at, and it's totally acceptable to be protective of that and to be proud of that.
Yeah.
But you don't, in my opinion, from what I've seen, Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't look down on people, though. Unless they, you know, if they're assholes, that's different. But I mean, everyday people, you don't look down on people.
Oh, God, no. Every day. Look, and I mean, just
I don't look down on anybody because I'm
me neither.
Well, I mean, I look at absolutely everybody.
I'll call you an asshole, but I don't.
Right.
You know,
I look at absolutely everybody the same, which is that, you know, are you a decent person? Yes. Are you a decent person? You are great. Well, then we can get on. You know what I mean? We can be friends or something like that. But so I don't really understand this whole idea of like, oh, I have a TV show, so you're now beneath me. And what's really right, and there's a couple of people who have TV shows now that even though I sponsor, you know, hospitality suites for them, my name is on all the programs. You know, I have paid good hard-earned money, not corporate money, but money out of my pocket, you know, to make these wonderful things happen that won't even speak to me when I walk by them because they have a TV show and I don't. You know, and
whatever.
Maybe when we're off air, I'll tell you who they are. But it's like in my world, it's like, you know, no matter what, you got to treat people good. And even if I wasn't a sponsor, even if I wasn't the person who's doing this, even if I didn't pay that kind of money, you should still walk by and say, hey, look, you know, I hope you're having a good weekend. That's what I always do.
But especially if you're somebody who helped them get somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they better acknowledge you.
Yeah. Well, but at the same time, it's like, I look at people who, when I'm out, when I'm out at a convention or something like that, and people walk up to me and they say, "Can I have a picture?" I don't hold my hand out and say, "That'll be $5." And at the same time, I don't look at them and say, "Excuse me, come to my booth." I don't do that. I just smile real big, or I give a smirk, and we take a picture together, and we talk trash. I often have a jar of moonshine on me someplace. We'll both drink out of a mason jar together and have a fabulous time. Like, that's who I am. I'll light your cigarette for you. We'll have a great little time outside with a Marlboro Light. But, that's sort of like who I've always been, and so that's never going to change. I don't think I'm ever going to be one of those people who says, just because I'm on Discovery Channel now, or Travel Channel, you and I aren't going to be buddies. Of course, come say hello to me anytime you want. As long as I'm not in a reading.
But I don't feel that from you. I think you will be the same, and I hope, but I feel sincerity from you. I always have. And I don't think that will change. I don't.
So anybody, if Ken is ever at an expo and I disappear, we're probably under his table drinking the moonshine. Just saying.
Oh gosh, yeah. Not under my table. Are you kidding me? We'll do it right out in the open. And I always say, don't bother going to management. They know what I'm like.
I am management. Go ahead and go to management.
And it's always the same. Like, before every episode of season 2, I was going through a really horrible time. This is just as my marriage started to kind of fall apart, and I've already done podcasts about all that. But we had a jar of moonshine. My mom, Mama Kim Ford Johnson, she is, one of the greatest friends. She's my companion. I call her my companion. And because she's always there, I don't like to say production assistant. I don't like to use the name assistant when it comes to her, because she's not. She brings me and caters to me and gives me everything and takes care of me and loves me.
Keeper.
She's my keeper. Exactly that. And she brought a huge jar of blueberry moonshine. And before every episode we did, that jar got passed around to everybody who was there, whether you were behind a camera or you were operating lighting or you were getting ready to be microphoned. Everybody had a drink out of that mason jar, and we all had a fabulous time doing it.
Yummy.
Yeah. And so that's who I am. And that's who I think and that's who I know I'll always be. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll have to cut back on moonshine, and maybe, I don't know, to have some herbal tea or something. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, if you can't rock and roll, you're too old, right? If you can rock and roll, then you're doing okay. My good friend Stevie Nicks said that. If you can't rock and roll, then you're too old.
Here you go, Ken. This is a great question, which...
you got Luna's?
Yeah. I can't believe people are still listening. I'm shocked by that. How the hell are we still having questions? That's crazy.
But this is...
Because we're funny?
Because you're awesome. That's why. Actually, there's still a lot of people in chat, believe it or not.
Right.
Usually after an hour it drops down, but there's still tons of people there. Luna wants to know, can someone get a reading with you when you're not at an expo? And if so, how?
Absolutely. Look, it's okay if you want to see me in person, that only happens in expos and conventions and things like that because of security reasons. But because we've had security issues before, so I only do public readings like that unless you pay me a lot of money. Like, if you pay me a lot of money, then I'll go meet you someplace, but there will be somebody with me. Yeah. So, but if you want a private reading, it's so affordable. It is so affordable. It is accessible to everybody. You go to tarotbyken.com, click on contact booking, fill out the form, and get yourself a tarot reading. 15 minutes is $25. Half an hour.
Wait a minute. Wait, what? Repeat that.
15 minutes is $25. Half an hour.
It?
Half an hour.
Cheap.
Half an hour is $50, but now on sale for $45 because my show's getting ready to come out. And an hour is usually $100, but it's on sale right now for $60 because my show is getting ready to air. So
it's to set up some time with you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's totally affordable. And if you become someone that I read I have a lot of clients, a lot of celebrity clients that I read every 6 weeks. So every 6 weeks, throughout that 6 weeks, I give you a 6 week spread and predictions and things like that. And then they see me, to the date, and they've got a list of things that they want clarity and guidance on. Those people get anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour for $30. For $30 every 6 weeks, you can have a tarot day with me. So that's unbelievable, And then some people, who are new, they, my prices went up to $45, so they never pay full price for a whole hour, or $60 for a full hour. It is insane how and I'm saying this, with humility in my heart, how affordable I am. It's crazy. But I did so because I think what I do is not just for someone with expendable income. What I do is not for someone who is just absurdly rich. What I do should be available for absolutely everybody. Everybody should have access to what I do. And there's never going to be a day where you can't afford me. Never a day.
I was just shocked, and that wasn't pretend. I was shocked at your prices. I am. I see prices a lot, and that surprised me because I
don't know anybody who can pay $500 for an hour.
I've seen those prices though, and it's like, whoa.
I saw somebody. I'm not gonna say name or where. I'm learning. But somebody said I just hit my 1 year mark of being a professional tarot card reader, and so special deal like $175 for the hour, and I'm like, you've only been doing it a year and $175 an hour, like.
And what makes you a professional?
Yeah, I don't know.
So that was the sale price was $175.
That was the sales price. That's why. Yeah.
That's my budget for groceries in a week.
Yeah. Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I have 2 kids, so mine's a little higher, but yeah, I get it.
That's my cell phone bill. You feel me? Like that's my cell phone bill. And believe you me, I'm going to pick my cell phone over a psychic reading any day of the week. Right? And I don't want people to have to make that choice. I don't.
Exactly,
I want them to be able to say, okay, look, I need help, and I know that I'm not going to break my bank by saying, Ken, I need 15 minutes, and can you help me out? I always do it. In fact, there was one lady, and I don't do this often, but there's one lady who was like, I totally need help, and I have no money. And it's happened a couple of times. And I have a wealth of clients who will actually prepay for appointments and leave them there. They don't use them. Jennifer Kelly does it. Tina Kiker does it. A lot of people will just pay for appointments and say, if anybody is in trouble and they need help, here's $25 for them to have 15 minutes. And it doesn't happen all the time. But that's the kind of group of people I've got in my life, and God bless them, how amazing they are. So, I do that. Or, sometimes like the other day, a woman was in tears and I did a quick 5-minute reading for her, 10-minute maybe. It became 10 minutes because we were chatty, but for free. It was like, you need some help and I'm here for you. But, I don't do that all the time because people take advantage of that.
Oh, yes.
But what I try to do, point being, is that I try to make what I do accessible, because I think that if you have a gift from God or the universe or whomever, I think that you need to share it. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And if you do get paid for it, good for you. Congratulations. Just don't take anybody to the cleaners, And
don't forget where you came from and help those who need it, not just want it.
Amen.
Well,
yeah.
And we're not out there to get rich and become a millionaire, but yet our time is valuable, and we are taking time away from our family and things that we could be doing otherwise. So I get wholehearted. It frustrates me a little when you hear people say, "Oh, you shouldn't charge for readings at all." Well, I have expenses to get here, and but keeping it moderate is exactly what it should be. I think.
I had a wonderful woman. Whose name was Joanne. Joanna, her granddaughter had committed suicide. And she was a wonderful, precious, sweet little angel from heaven. And they lost her. And I did this mediumship reading for an hour and 15 minutes. And it broke my heart that I then sent her an invoice. Like, I was devastated. And I went to my bed and I was laying there crying. And my now ex-husband came in the room and he looked at me in the face and he said, do you understand that this right here, you laying here in the bed and crying all night long, this right here is why you have to charge money, because you're devastated over what happened to that family. Mm-hmm. And this has taken a huge chunk of your life today, and it's taken a huge toll on your spirit. This is why you charge money, because you are actually giving a huge part of yourself. And that's the night I said, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. And that's just the way it is. So yeah, I don't really feel bad anymore about charging money for appointments. Not after that clarifying moment in my life,
Excuse me. I am a paranormal investigator. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium. I don't do readings. I think there's a big difference between psychic readings, mediums charging, and paranormal investigators charging. I am dead set against paranormal investigators charging, but I understand why and how and all for mediums and cards, all those types of readings. I get that. So it's not like I don't make money on it. I couldn't even fake my way through a reading, So I get that. And I think you guys, I can fake my way through a lot of things, but a reading is not one of them.
No, I mean, like, I don't know how people did that, back in the the spiritualist days where, like, mediums had these parlors, these seance parlors. I don't know how what they call those, charlatans. I don't know how they did that. Yeah. Like, I mean,
I can picture the table, the rectangle table, and, like, as you're talking, I'm, like, picturing. Sorry, go on.
I just 100% could not manage that. That would drive me insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see, what do we got? Where's that? Oh, I have to say this. Amy Bing, I guess that's what we're calling her. Amy Bing, not to be confused with Chandler Bing from Friends. But Amy Bing, sorry, I'm a Friends fan, says she better get a happy ending at $500 for a reading.
Well,
I saw that comment. It cracked me up.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something, though. I had, I've paid a lot of money to people to do readings, and I've taken away a lot of really great information, but never once did I ever sit back and say, that was $500 worth, or that was $1,000 worth, or something like that. Not ever. And it's never happened.
Definitely.
Well, geez, we've been on for almost 2 hours, guys.
Oh, good Lord.
Right? I didn't realize that went by really quick. I say that a lot, but this show really did. Like, usually at the hour mark, I can tell, and I'm like, okay, hour, we're going to go long, but this one just kind of snuck up on us.
Well, I normally don't do 2-hour shows. Normally, I always say
do we. Actually,
1 hour. That's it. Normally, I only do an hour, and I'm like, okay, later, everybody. And so there's going to be, I tell you right now, there's going to be 2 or 3 people who write me and say, oh, so you did an hour and 47 minutes with these people, and you didn't do it with us. And I'm going to say, you know what? That's totally fine.
Tell them you did an hour with Shea and an hour with me.
Right. I did an hour with the network, kid, so just calm down.
Actually, I don't even like doing more than an hour. Sometimes, once in a great while, we go an hour, 20 minutes, hour and a half, but we don't. There was another show the 3 of us did that was like 2 hours, almost 2 hours, but normally, I don't go this long. So, Ken, throw out all your social media where people can find you, because I feel bad I kept you this long.
It's okay. I've gone through 3 bottles of water and the better part of 2 e-cigarettes, so we're okay. I think after this, I'm going to have a Camel. So
yeah, me too.
So you can always find me on social media. You just Google Ken Boggle, KenBoggle, and you
do not spell it like the show says right now, people. I'm going to fix it.
Find me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter. Tweet at Ken Boggle and let me know you want to get a reading. You can go to my Instagram at Ken Boggle, comment or slide into the DMs and send me a message. You can go to House of Cards Tarot at Outlook.com and send me an email. You can also text 859-229-4833, which is my real phone number. You can do that. Yeah, I keep my voicemail box full, so there's nobody ever gets through the voicemail. Nobody ever kind of gets beyond the phone call. But text me and say, you want to have a reading or something like that. But I totally prefer going through the website because that goes into my email, and I prefer emails because that is like my touchstone. Like I always am able to kind of keep everything put together. You won't be overlooked if you go through the website or you go through the email address houseofcardstarot at outlook.com. So do that. Find me on social media. Let's be a part of each other's lives because I think that's just cool. I think that's just so cool.
Not only because he's good at what he does, but because he's a great person and he is fucking hilarious.
Oh,
so, there we go. But all 3 of those.
And I do want to throw out there, because we've talked so much about how you got to where you're doing and a million other topics, and they all know that you're fun to listen to and hilarious and stuff. But, we really haven't talked a lot about how amazing his readings really are. I've watched his show, The Tarot Date by Ken, and I've watched the readings that he's given to people and the impact that he has on the people that he's reading for, guys. So if you I know there's a million good readers out there, but he's phenomenal. So if you get a chance.
And listen, tarot, listen, and I don't mean to kind of plug, but this is not an exaggeration. Up to the time that I'd filmed Tarot Date with Ken Boggle season 2, I have done this for 26 years. The best work I have done in 26 years is caught in 9 episodes that are about to be released on VidiSpace and Amazon Prime. And with Tarot Dates with Ken Boggle season 2, it is absolutely, unequivocally the best work I've ever done. And I don't know what happened. I don't know. I mean, I was going through such personal issues and things like that. Maybe that made it a little more raw or impactful. I don't know what it was. However, please watch it. Please love it. And please enjoy it. And please, for the love of God, find something in it that inspires you. I did 9 different episodes with 9 different themes. Everything from lost loved ones, where we did mediumship readings, where we actually caught me speaking in conversation to the deceased person, like back and forth. Like intense long conversations with the father who had actually accidentally overdosed on drugs when talking to his daughter, and sharing messages to a nurse that was wrongfully accused of involuntary manslaughter, to people who were struggling as psychics, people who were struggling in their careers, people who were struggling with broken hearts, people who were struggling as single parents. There is something in this season for everyone. So please go to VidiSpace. It's going to start in February. And buy the season 2 of Tarot Date with Ken Boggle and watch it on Amazon Prime late February when it comes out, and like it, share it. If you find something inspirational in it, share it with your friends and family, and just know that I worked really, 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 really hard. I worked really hard for months to get this to you, for a year almost. It's been a hard travel, a hard path to walk, but I want you to love it, and I want you to enjoy it, and I want you to find something inspirational in it. So Tarot Date season 2 with Ken Boggle, VidiSpace, get on there and get it. You're gonna love it. If you're a paranormal person, there is tons of paranormal evidence that's there. Elizabeth Saint said herself that it kind of freaked her out, and that's Elizabeth. She's seen some shit, and she's experienced some stuff. So there's stuff in there for you if you're like a friend of, or like a fan of the psychics and things like that. There's obviously tons of that. And also, if you just like human stories and people telling their stories, that's what the show is all about. So please watch it and love it.
We have one more question.
Okay.
It's important. So, Mama Pat, who I love. Hello, Mama Pat. Love you. Kisses. Not my mama, but she's Kelly's mama, but I call her Mama Pat. So.
Everybody's adopted her.
Yeah. She wants to know if you get a reading from you, is it on the phone or is it printed? Like
No, it's on the phone. Oh my God, we call it tarot. The word Tarot Date has actually been trademarked. And, I own that. But I saw that. It's called that because it's a date. I call you on the phone and we spend time together. We get to know each other. We build a relationship with each other. So, no, I am not someone who's going to read you and then type something up and email it to you. Okay, I'm laughing. But, look, and no dig against people who do that. I'm not digging against people who do that. I'm just saying that ain't my style. So, yeah, it's over the phone or in person. And it's a really intimate kind of fabulous experience.
Awesome.
Yeah. Ken, I so appreciate you being here, and it was so much fun. It really did go by fast. So if you want to just stand by we'll get you off here really quick.
Kelly, have you done shout-outs?
Yeah, Kelly, are you available to do shout-outs while I find what I'm supposed to read?
I've got it. All right, so we had Miss Jen B. and Kim Purvis and Shea Carroll, of course. Mr. Matt was in there with us. Mama Pat Wolf joined us for a bit. Vanessa, of course, popped in and again wanted to say hi and show you some love. Gabby Bergman, who was in for a little bit.
Love Gabby.
She actually is starting her own podcast as well under the Girls versus Ghosts that's where my other podcast is. So yeah.
Oh my God, love me some Charlotte Harden and Beth Moore.
Charlotte and Beth are amazing people.
Charlotte is our guest next Friday.
Oh, you just tell her Ken Boggle loves her.
We will.
Always.
It's hard not to love Charla. She's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah.
Did we do that?
No, I'm not through yet. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I got distracted. Luna, Peggy Gypsy was in there. I'm going to miss somebody, guys. So as usual, please don't take offense if I miss you guys.
That's why I make her do it.
I sing to myself while I'm doing it, just to, because it's background music and stuff.
Yeah. This gives people time. If you want to shout out quick, say something in chat really quick.
It's Amy Bing.
Yes, Bing.
Who was cracking me up as well. Her last name is really Bingenheimer, I believe is how you say the whole thing, but it's just a mouthful, so I stopped at Bing.
My friend's joke. You stepped away.
Oh.
I said not to be confused with
yes. Amy's an amazing person. I think I have everybody. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. I'm scrolling fast. There was a whole lot of chat tonight.
There was. And I see other faces that have liked the show, but I learned, again, the hard way. If they like the show but don't comment in chat, that means they do not want to shout out. So I no longer do that.
Can't remember if I said Wolf, but he was in there.
Yes, he was.
Okay. I think I got everybody, but sorry if I missed you. Anyways.
Kim Purvis, I see. Thank you.
Got her.
So, all right, let's make this quick because we already kept Ken too long. He was awesome about this.
Thank you for coming on, Ken. You are a blast to talk to and fun to listen to. And
well, thank you all for having me, and I totally appreciate it. And, I just want to say to everybody who's out there, take really good care of yourselves, but take even better care of each other, because at the end of the day, we are indeed our brother's keeper, and our happiness is indivisible from the person next to us. We got to be good to each other. Such a harsh, horrible, hardcore world out there. So, be good to yourselves and each other. And thank you all for listening. And please like and share this with all your friends and family. And thank you, both of you, for having me on. You all have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So join us Sunday. I will be gone all day. Don't bother messaging me. I'll be at a Paracon tomorrow all day and night. But Sunday, the Skeptic and the Psychic will be back. And actually, it's a Q&A with Jen and Shea, which is always fun. You never know what that Shea person's going to say. Go either way, especially on that show. So
I am heading out in the way below freezing temperatures to do a public investigation tomorrow night. Yay.
I know. I was supposed to watch a live investigation, but somebody bought my sister and I. Well, let me rephrase it. Somebody is giving us free investigation tickets. I don't buy public investigation tickets. I'm a single mom. I don't buy them. Somebody actually is giving them to us, so I will most likely not be available, but I send my love. Stay safe.
Oh, well, stay safe. It's a cool place. It's an awesome place.
I'll watch the replay, though, so.
Awesome. Awesome.
So, until then, we will see you Sunday. Next Friday, as I said, we have Michelle. I don't have Hagen? Harden, thank you.
Harden.
I just know a Shala or Charlie. I never said her last name out loud. So join us then, and who knows what we'll say then.
Oh, it's going to be a show.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
For more information regarding what Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Fidium Fiber Internet offers a dedicated connection straight to your home, which means you don't have to worry about your neighbors hogging your bandwidth. It's like having your own slice of the internet, and Gary from next door can't slow you down. Visit fidiumfiber.com.